Assalamu alaikum, I'm Aisha and you're watching SAMAA News. Here are today's headlines.
Iran has warned neighboring countries against joining what it calls a US economic war, threatening retaliation against states that support Washington's sanctions campaign. Mohsen Rezaieh, Secretary of Iran's Supreme National Security Council, said countries participating in economic restrictions would be considered enemies. He warned Tehran could initially seek dialogue, but would target the interests of countries that refuse to distance themselves from the United States. Rezaieh also warned that US military action could encourage more countries to pursue nuclear weapons, arguing that Iran's experience showed international safeguards had failed to prevent attacks. He further threatened possible disruption to oil shipments through the Persian Gulf and Strait of Hormuz, while saying Iran would adjust its military and diplomatic strategy based on lessons from the recent conflict.
Iranian Parliament Speaker Mohammad Bagher Ghalibaf has said that the country has received messages from neighbours on shaping new security commitments and economic cooperation in the region. Taking to X, Ghalibaf has said that the United States had put the security of its allies at risk through disregard for their interests in support of Israel. He said some allies briefly faced a situation in which their very existence was at risk. He added that a homegrown, independent security order would guarantee peace and security in the Middle East.
Iran-linked hackers reportedly shut down a British power plant for 4 days last month in what is believed to be the first successful cyber attack of its kind against a UK electricity facility. According to The Telegraph, the unidentified plant was forced offline while staff worked to restore operations. British authorities have not disclosed the facility's identity, citing security concerns. The relatively small plant's shutdown did not affect the wider UK electricity network, but the incident has raised concerns over the vulnerability of critical infrastructure to state-linked cyber attacks. Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney has vowed a dollar-for-dollar response to new US tariffs, accusing Washington of demanding too much while offering too little during failed trade negotiations. Carney said Canada would impose retaliatory tariffs from September 8th on products including steel, dairy, appliances, and electronics. The move follows new US duties of up to 50% on around $20 billion worth of Canadian imports. Both countries blamed each other for the collapse of negotiations, with US officials saying there were no immediate plans to resume talks. Carney said Washington had imposed unacceptable conditions on Canada's ability to negotiate trade deals with other countries.
Norway plans to provide more than $9 billion in financial support to Ukraine in 2027. The Norwegian government says it will allocate 85 billion Norwegian kroner, maintaining the same level of support provided in 2026. The funding is part of Norway's continued assistance to Ukraine amid the ongoing war with Russia. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says Kyiv believes Russia is planning to mobilize an additional 300,000 troops after parliamentary elections in September. Zelensky said Russia could also draft hundreds of thousands more troops in 2027 as Moscow pursues its stated military objectives, including capturing the remaining parts of Ukraine's eastern Donetsk region. Bangladesh has indicated a willingness to explore joining the MACA Joint Defence Agreement involving Pakistan, Saudi Arabia and Turkey. Bangladeshi Foreign Affairs Advisor Humayun Kabir said Dhaka could consider participating in an economic or defence framework while prioritising its national interests and the changing global economic and trade environment. Speaking to state-run media, he said Bangladesh maintains a positive approach towards the possibility of joining an economic or defence framework involving the three countries.
Russian President Vladimir Putin has warned Ukraine of retaliation after Kyiv intensified drone attacks on Russian economic infrastructure, saying it had opened Pandora's box. Putin said Russia would target Ukraine's most sensitive economic sectors in response to attacks on facilities including oil refineries and warehouses. Russia has also targeted Ukrainian economic infrastructure, including facilities linked to grain exports through the Black Sea. Putin said the strikes had created challenges for Ukraine, but would not cause global food shortages. A Chinese humanoid robot has beaten Usain Bolt's 100-meter world record, clocking 9.39 seconds at the World Humanoid Robot Games in Beijing. Tiangong Ultra, developed by the Beijing Humanoid Robot Innovation Center, won its preliminary heat, surpassing Bolt's 9.58-second record set in 2009. Another robot, Honor's Lightning, finished in 9.47 seconds. Both robots struggled after crossing the finish line, with Tiangong Ultra stumbling into the sidelines and Lightning collapsing before being carried away. The performance marked a major improvement from last year, when Tiangong Ultra completed the 100 meters in 21.50 seconds. Lightning had also recorded 9.32 seconds in a preparatory test earlier Saturday.
TikTok and its Chinese parent company ByteDance have agreed to a $400 million settlement to resolve the US Justice Department's allegations the short video app violated children's online privacy. The Justice Department sued TikTok and ByteDance in 2024 for allegedly failing to protect children's privacy and illegally collecting their information. Under the settlement, TikTok will pay $300 million immediately and an additional $100 million upon entry of an order vacating a prior consent decree entered against TikTok's predecessor, musical.lw. That's all for now. For more updates, visit www.samaa.tv. Thank you for watching SAMAA News.